In this demonstration, we're going to have a look at creating edge synchronization between the edge transport server and the internal Exchange organization. Edge synchronization means that we can manage most of our edge transport server settings in the organization by using the management console or the management shell. We don't need to configure every edge transport server one by one. So for example, if we want to configure a new remote domain, we can do this centrally, and then the edge synchronization will synchronize the config settings to all of the edge transport servers. So what we need to do first of all, just on NYC server 1, is we just need to create a new edge subscription file. And to do that, we do that through the management shell. So within the management shell, what we'll do is just clear the screen. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to use the new -edge subscription commandlet. That's all we've typed in here. Just type in new -edge subscription, specify the file name, and specify the file name that we're going to use. So we'll hit return here. What it then does, it just goes away and runs a little commandlet. So we'll just enter yes, and that's all now done. So next thing we need to do is swap over to the Exchange Hub Transport server, in my case being NYC EX10. So on my Exchange 10 server that I'm sitting in front of here, if we just come into the Exchange Management Console, what we want to do from this point here is we actually now want to create this new edge subscription. So what I'm going to do just while this is launching up is I'm just going to copy the edge subscription file from NYC server 1. I'd probably have done this with a USB pen drive, so rather than doing it via a file share, so we'll just copy that, and what we'll do here is we'll just paste it onto our local C drive. Right, we're then going to use this file to create the edge synchronization. So we've now copied the file across. The next thing to do is actually just set up our edge subscription. So on our Hub Transport server under Organization Configuration, what we're going to do here is just come to our Edge Subscriptions tab. And under our Edge Subscriptions tab, what we're going to do here is we're just actually going to create a new Edge subscription. Right, we'll then browse through the file on the Active Directory site, so we'll go for default first site name, and in the case of the file, we just go to our C drive, go with our XML file, open this up here, and select New. What's happening now is setting up all of the connectors that are required between the Edge Transport server and the Hub Transport servers. Not really bothered about the warning, so we'll just click the Finish button. That's now done. The next thing to do is to actually test the Edge subscription. So to do that, we're going to use the management shell. And within the management shell, we're just going to start an Edge synchronization, just synchronize across all of the Active Directory information that are required for things like anti-spam rules, and also setting up our Edge connectors. So we'll just use the start-edge synchronization, hit return. Yeah, so that's all done. Next thing that we're going to do here is we're just going to test the edge synchronization. So to do that, we're going to use the test-edge synchronization script. So we're going to use test edge subscription and then full compare mode. Hit return at this point here. As we can see, everything's synchronized. We're not really bothered about the remote domain status. So yep, everything is synchronized at this point here. So the next thing we'll do is we'll just quickly nip back onto the NYC server 1, which is the Edge Transport server, and just have a look at everything that's been created. Now we're back on server 1, we'll just have a look and see exactly what's happened as part of this edge synchronization. So if we have a look at anti-spam, nothing's changed there. The receive connector should be the same, that's what we already had, so that's receiving mail from the outside world. If we have a look at send connectors though, and just do a refresh on this, what we should find is we should find some send connectors pop up. So as we can see, these send connectors have been created as part of the edge synchronization. So it's going to allow email to be sent to the default first site name and also inbound to default first site name. Transport rules, they're the same. Accepted domains, what we should find here, we've got the 3 accepted domains which were part of the Hub Transport server. So the advantage of using the edge synchronization is I didn't have to create all of these things manually. Now that we've done all of that, the next thing to do is just have a look at another nice little feature of the Edge Transport server, which is a thing called address rewriting. The purpose of address rewriting is to allow us, in the case of let's say our 3 companies here, to actually send mail to the outside world, but as the mail leaves the Edge synchronization server, it can be stamped with a single domain. So for example, we've got AdventureWorks, Contoso.com and Fourth Coffee. Now what we could have here is we could have these 3 companies as part of an overall group, and what we want to have is as the email leaves the organization, we want the overall group's domain featured as part of the address. So to do that, we need to do that through the management shell. So all we'll do here, we'll just clear the screen. So what we've done here, we've done a new address rewrite entry, -name, so everything's going to come out as bdatum.com. The internal address will be contoso.com, the external address will become bdatum.com. Then I would do the same thing for Fourth Coffee, and would also do the same thing as well for the additional company of Adventure Works. So then everything leaving the organisation would be, say, bob@bdatum.com. So just hit return. There you go, all done. As we can see, the internal address contoso.com, external address becomes bdatum.com. And that's the end of this demonstration. Thanks very much.